Ted, I don't understand, man. Every time I see your name show up, it's Evil Ted. What does that mean? Are you a bad person?
I had the nickname Evil Ted for quite some time. I got it my first person, dear friend, my buddy Tom Seymour, who's in the industry. He does physical effects, and I think he does Criminal Minds. I think he's working on that show right now, and blows crap up and stuff like that. But we're good friends. He always called me Evil Ted. And then what really sealed the deal was I lived in a house with a dear friend of mine who's also named Ted. And we were roommates, and we were the Teds. And it got to a point where we weren't individuals. It was always the Teds, the groups of Teds. Where are you going? We're going to the Teds. And then somebody had a joke about like good Ted, evil Ted. Like, ooh, which one? Who's that? And I said,
duh.
It's me. And then my friends like, why? I said, dude, you want to be good Ted? Yeah. But what sealed the deal was I was doing one of the days of doing creature effects, and I did that. I worked a lot of different shops doing creature effects. I was working, and the time was slow, and I helped out on a couple of videos. I worked on Rob Zombie videos, and we built some crazy costumes and stuff for Rob Zombie. I got to know Rob, and Rob's very personal, very fun guy. And
Rob Zombie?
Rob Zombie, the Rob Zombie. And what's funny about Rob is that Rob is he's like us. He's a geek that made it. This guy grew up loving famous monsters of Filmland and horror movies and old Hammer films, and like he loves the horror. Of course, you can tell by his albums and his music and the bands, all his artwork and all those crazy covers and artwork is him. He does all that. He draws all his own stuff. Anyway, we were doing stuff for a couple of videos, and Rob was going on tour. And Rob was, hey, I have some ideas. I want to do this like giant 10-foot robot. I want a 10-foot robot, and I want to roll around on stage and this and that. And I was like, oh, okay. And he starts, I want this like costumes and these weird like armored guys that come on stage. So he had these ideas. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. So I built costumes for him. And my dear friend, Tim Arp, came aboard and helped me. And he was helping me and stuff, and we foam fabricated some crazy robots and stuff like that. Well, anyway, that was all said and done, and Rob's like, hey, would you like to go on the road? Because I want somebody to babysit the stuff while I was on the trip. I'm thinking, okay. So I turned to Tim and said, hey, Tim, you want to tour with me for 3 months, living out of a bus? And so we both did it, and I laughed because in Tim's interview, he said that he's absolutely right. It was fun.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It was interesting, but I would never want to do it again.
Interesting.
But Tim and I, we became really good friends, and Tim is phenomenally talented. Tim's one of those guys that were my mastermind plan. If I had it in a perfect world, if I was loaded and rich, I just want to hire Tim to build stuff for me. I want to be that guy like, I want this, and I'll have Tim Art build it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but Tim needs to work and make money, so I don't have
unfortunately, yes.
And but Tim and I became really good friends. There was a video project a friend of mine was doing, and I needed a set of hands to help me on it. And I looked at all these people's portfolios and resumes, and I saw some really cool Star Wars stuff. This is really cool. So I contacted him, and Tim came to help me out. I worked on him. Basically, and I'll tell you right now, this was the early days, which I said earlier. Tim worked me for free. He just came aboard and helped.
Yeah.
Tim wasn't expecting money. He just wanted to get something going, get a project going. So he literally helped me for free. But then I had some things I wanted to do, and it was a project, and it was money involved. So I started paying Tim. And I won't mention amounts, but I'll tell you a funny story. Tim was so good, I was paying Tim a flat rate of money. And Tim came to me one day and said, you know, Ted, I want to increase that flat rate. I want X amount of money. And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, Tim, we'll do that if you could just do stuff with me out showing you. Because I would have certain things that I'd say, as soon as you could, I don't have to show you something, I just say, I just need this and need that, and you can do it by yourself, then I have no problem with that. And Tim was like, okay, that's fair. Within a week or so, he got to the point where he got it down to where I didn't have to show him anything. So I had to pay him more money. He got me, and I laughed so hard. He's like, I'm worth this much. I said, and you are now. So there it was. And ever since then, when I did Guardian of the Realm, Tim was one of my main prop guys in that show. And I had designs and things I knew I wanted, and Tim just knocked it out of the park. He came aboard and helped me. And I could throw a little money his way and feed him a little bit and stuff like that, but he just delivered some of the production value on that show. Like there's one of the knives. It's a knife, yeah. this was design, and I kind of had the concept. I kind of drew it up as a pencil sketch, and Tim took that drawing and made it really. He really made it happen. I kind of had the blade. I wanted like a 2-bladed thing, and the gag was like a cut here and cut here at the top, because this is what my heroine had. She had the knife, and she would fight and hook, and so Tim made this. I think
To MDF or
not MDF, it's Century, that particle something. He'll probably tell us, but he did this, and I molded them. I made silicone plastic ones, and this was amazing. And I cannot say enough about Tim Arp. I think he's phenomenal, and I miss him. He's no longer with us. He took off to.
Well, he's still with us. No, he's not dead.
He's not dead.
Poor Tim. He's no longer with us.
Poor Tim. He's no longer in Los Angeles. But I say when I say that, I mean that I can't pull resources from Tim. I can't throw money at Tim right now. Because Tim is in Portland, Oregon, and he's working. And
good for him. God bless.
Yeah, God bless him. And I'm so glad he's doing it, because I said if he was here, I'd be like, Tim, help! I'd throw money at him.
Cool.
Yeah, he's fantastic.